While a lot of attention has been placed on Apple's big new Apple Watch Ultra, the Apple Watch that most people should probably still buy is either the new Apple Watch Series 8 or the new Apple Watch SE. And while you may want to wait for a full review before deciding to purchase either of these products, I think it's fair to say we can make a lot of assumptions between both devices, given that they are mostly using existing technology and features and designs found on past Apple Watch devices. In fact, the Series 8 and the new Apple Watch SE use the same processor as my Series 7 watch. So I kind of already have a lot of experience using a watch like this, and it may not be all too different. All right, so I think the first important thing to know about the Series 8 and the Apple Watch SE this year is that they both share, of course, that same S8 chip, and that means for the first time ever, the lower cost Apple Watch SE and the higher price Series 8 will have the same exact performance, and this is great news for anyone looking to buy the Apple Watch SE. So that means it will run exactly the same. Apps will load at the same speed, and the user interface will be just as smooth, and even syncing the Apple Watch will now be faster thanks to this speed improvement on the SE model. And as a customer, you really don't have to worry as much about which Apple Watch model you should buy based on speed, because just down the entire lineup, every single Apple Watch from the SE to the Ultra all have the same exact performance. All watches also have the same 32 gigabytes of storage for storing apps, music, podcasts, and audiobooks. Now, there is some differences with the durability between the SE and the Series 8. Now, the Series 8 is certified for IP6X dust resistance, while the SE is not. And the back of the watch is made out of a nylon composite or a plastic, but hey, I don't think that's a big deal for most people. Now, there are other differences. The Series 8 does have a slightly bigger display on both models, so the 45 millimeter on the biggest model, and then 41 millimeters on the smaller size model, while the SE has 44 and a 40 millimeter display. Both displays in quality seem to be identical though. Specifications of both of the displays seem to go to 1000 nits, and both are OLED displays, so both of these should be great for outdoor use. However, there are two big features that you need to be made aware of. First of all, the Series 8 has an always-on display, while the SE requires a wrist raise to see the information on the watch. Personally, I like having an always-on display. Having all that information at a glance is very helpful, and I like having the watch face always be visible because I feel like it also just looks better on your wrist. To play devil's advocate though, I have met quite a few people that disable the always on display because they don't like it or they want to save on battery life. And with the new low power mode coming to the SE and the Series 8, this gives you 36 hours of battery life, but it also disables the always on display. So if you plan to use this feature, the always on display won't be beneficial to you anyway. Now, the big display size itself might not seem like a big difference considering it's just 1 millimeter difference in size, but it does enable one feature that I find very helpful, and that is the native Apple Watch keyboard. This lets you type out messages on the watch's small screen, and it's a pretty handy feature that gives you more direct control over your watch, not only for messaging, but also for occasionally putting in things like passwords. So even though it sounds like a small feature, it is one that might change the way that you actually use your Apple Watch, and it's a very strong consideration to make, upgrading to the Series 8 just for that feature. Now, I think the biggest question you have to ask yourself when deciding between these models is if you want all the extra health features. Now, the SE, I believe, comes with Apple's most important health and life-saving features, and that would be the heart rate monitor, which can automatically detect high and low heart rates and then notify the user that maybe they might want to seek medical attention. And the heart rate monitor is also great for calculating how many calories you've burned throughout the day and while working out, which makes it an excellent choice as a fitness tracker. It also comes with fall detection and even comes with the new car crash detection. Both of these features can automatically dial emergency services in case of a hard fall or a severe car crash, and there are already countless life-saving stories of this feature for fall detection saving users' lives. Now, the Series 8 also comes with these features and more. It includes an ECG reader, which can take an electrocardiogram reading and notify you if you actually have an irregular heartbeat rhythm. A very useful feature, but hey, if you don't have an irregular heartbeat or have no family history of an irregular heartbeat, it could be something that you really never take advantage of. Now, the Series 8 also has a blood oxygen sensor, which can give you blood oxygen readings in the background or manually. And again, potentially a really great feature if you need it, but based on my experience after using this watch for more than 2 years with that feature, it's something I rarely check up on, and the information has yet to be useful for me personally. Obviously, depending on your health circumstances, your needs may vary, and this could end up being a useful feature for you. Finally, the Series 8 this year has a new body temperature sensor. Now, this is a little unproven, as there has been not a lot of time to test this feature, obviously, because it's not out yet, but supposedly this body temperature sensor will help women with cycle tracking and tracking ovulation, and it could potentially be a really great new feature for women. But for me, it doesn't seem like there are any benefits that this body temperature sensor will provide, so you need to take that into your purchasing consideration as well. If you've never owned an Apple Watch before, it may be hard to determine if you need some of these certain health features, but thankfully, I think I can say that most people, and I say this really thankfully, I think most people will be fine without needing a lot of those additional health features that the Series 8 brings. Also, like I mentioned before, if you want extended battery life on your Apple Watch and plan to utilize that new low power mode found on watchOS 9, the watch will disable a lot of these features to give you that extended 36 hours of battery life. So if you plan to live your life on low power mode for multi-day battery life, these extra features will be mostly useless to you. Okay, now I think it's safe to say that if both of these watches were priced the same, everyone would just buy the Series 8. More features is always better, even if you never plan to use them. But they're not priced the same, right? The Apple Watch SE starts at $250, while the Series 8 starts at $400. At $250, the XE looks like an excellent value for anyone looking for their first Apple Watch, or if they're upgrading from a Series 3 or below. Furthermore, if you plan to utilize the cellular Apple Watch connectivity features, the SE is only a $50 upgrade to get a cellular model, also making it a great choice for parents who want to give their child an Apple Watch. The Series 8 requires an expensive $100 upgrade for the cellular model, placing these watches now at a $200 price difference instead of the original $150. Now, there's also more options on the Series 8. You can get an additional product color with the product red choice, and you can also upgrade the finish on your Apple Watch to a sleek stainless steel model starting at $700, which also does come with a scratch-resistant sapphire display. And if you absolutely cannot stand the idea of getting a scratch on your watch's front display, then you might want to pick up that stainless steel version. However, I should note that technically the 45mm size of the Series 8 watch with the $100 band choice on the stainless steel model is exactly the same price as the Apple Watch Ultra, so definitely weigh those options before deciding what premium model you're gonna pick up. But this video is about the Series 8 and the Apple Watch SE, and hey, listen, looking at both these watches, I honestly don't think there's a wrong choice. Listen, if you have a pretty modern Apple Watch, there may not be a reason to upgrade to the Series 8. It's a pretty small upgrade. But if you're on an older watch or it's your first Apple Watch purchase and you want one of the features that the SE doesn't have, it is still a great choice. On the other hand, I can't help but feel now that the SE, now that it has the same speed as the Series 8 at $250, it looks like a great value, especially if you plan to utilize that new low power mode for 36 hours of battery life. Thankfully this year, I feel like I can say there is no wrong choice here. It's all preference, budget, and determining which features you really want on your Apple Watch. Either way, no matter what watch you picked up, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you found this video helpful in deciding on which model to go with. Also, consider using my affiliate link in the description below if this video helped you, and be sure to let me know what Apple Watch you plan on picking up and what made you pick that model over the others. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.